seriously, what? I have no idea what has been happening with me lately. I guess I kind of do know actually, but I guess I'm speculating the cause. I am curious about the inception. I'm also curious about the duration and the continued duration, and I am wondering what I can do this has honestly very much affected my life and things that and the outcomes and all this other stuff. Like, it has seriously affected my quality of life, or like opportunities. Like, I've definitely missed out on some things because I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow, or I don't have the energy for this right now. I can give you two reasons why I think these things are happening. I can give you three reasons. One, I'm tired. I'm really tired. My brain is tired. My body's tired. My emotional capacity is tired. My compassion is fatigued. I am also severely understimulated. I am not, don't get me wrong, my brain is stimulated throughout the day, but I don't know if it's like the stimulation. I don't know. It's not the stimulation that my brain craves. Like, I'm still craving for a specific type of stimulation by the time I get home. And then I get into this, like, doom scroll, and then I lay there, and I just have a hard time getting things done. And I told this to my therapist, and she's like, you have ADHD, like, this is going to be hard for you. And you know what? Yes, this is going to be hard for me. But for how long? For how long is this going to be hard? Do I really need an accountability buddy? Do I really need to have a partner and put those responsibilities on them? I feel like I should be able to hold myself accountable. I should be able to set goals for myself and achieve them. But the reality is, my brain doesn't work that way. And I'm no longer in the structure of school, so I don't have that to rely on as like to keep me stable, you know what I mean? Another reason why my cat died, I didn't like, she was a little like, where is she? But then kind of got over it. And all the people that I've told have been like very supportive. Yet, it also makes me very annoyed that a lot of people have forgotten. They like ask me, how are the kitties? And I think they mean it in like a term of endearment. I don't think they're trying to like, it's not malicious at all. But like, it's just a reminder, like, my other cat's dead and you didn't remember. I don't know. I think that's like something else that's plaguing at me. The other reason why I think this is happening is like,